Your daily headlines powered by AI and reviewed by people you can trust. This is Neural Newscast.
Broadcasting from the Neural Newscast newsroom, I'm Andrew Lindbeck. It's October 1st, 2025. On this day in 1958, NASA was formally established, marking a pivotal moment in the United States space program. Let's dive into the latest in politics. A partial U.S. government shutdown begins after Congress fails to agree on a spending bill, pausing many services. I'm joined by Cassandra Joyce.
A partial government shutdown begins after Congress misses the funding deadline. Non-essential federal services pause, while essential operations like air traffic control and Social Security continue. Lawmakers clash over spending levels, border security funding, and Ukraine aid. Fiscal hawks argue tighter budgets curb inflation and waste. Critics counter that cuts risk key services. Democrats push a clean short-term extension to keep agencies open. Republicans seek policy concessions. President Donald Trump urges Congress to deliver a bill. Negotiations resume today, but timelines remain unclear.
The Supreme Court pauses an effort to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook while the dispute plays out in court. I'm joined by Daniel Grove.
The Supreme Court keeps Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook in her seat for now, pausing President Donald Trump's bid to remove her. The case tests executive power over independent agencies and the Fed's political insulation. The White House argues presidents must control senior appointees. Critics warn firings risk market stability and central bank credibility. Supporters argue accountability requires flexibility. A fuller ruling is expected after briefs and arguments in the coming weeks. This is Daniel Grove for Neural Newscast.
Across continents, here's what's happening. A powerful earthquake devastates parts of the Philippines, killing dozens and prompting a state of calamity in affected areas. Monica Kellen reports on this story.
Authorities declare a state of calamity in a Philippine province after an earthquake kills 69 people. The powerful quake strikes the southern island of Mindanao, collapsing homes and cracking roads. Rescue teams search through debris as aftershocks rattle frightened residents. Hospitals treat hundreds for injuries, while power and water remain disrupted in several towns. Officials suspend classes and work in the hardest-hit areas to speed relief. The quake hits barely a week after back-to-back typhoons, compounding damage and straining aid supplies. We need urgent assistance, says the provincial governor.
Rescue teams continue searching for survivors after the deadly 6.9 magnitude quake in Mindanao, with infrastructure damage widespread. Search crews race to find survivors amid aftershocks and landslides after the quake toppled homes and disrupted services. Hundreds of thousands flee Gaza City as Israel expands its ground offensive, overwhelming relief efforts, aid groups say. The European Union proposes a cross-border drone wall to detect and deter hostile drone incursions along its eastern frontier. Ethan Wells has more on this.
The European Union advances plans for a drone wall along its eastern border to deter hostile drones. Leaders pushed the plan after repeated Russian drone incursions near NATO and EU territory in recent months. The project would link radar, cameras, jammers, and air defenses across multiple member states. It aims to detect, track, and, if needed, neutralize drones before they cross into EU airspace. Officials say it strengthens border security and shields critical infrastructure. One minister calls it a shield for Europe's skies.
This is Chad Thompson. I created Neural Newscast to make it easier to keep up with the world without the noise. If you're finding it helpful, head to neuralnewscast.com to explore all our shows, recaps, and reports.
For a tech update, here's what's new. OpenAI debuts Sora, a social video app that turns text prompts into AI-generated clips, sparking copyright and quality concerns. Kara Swift has more on this.
OpenAI launches Sora, a social video app that turns text prompts into polished clips. The debut reel shows a synthetic Sam Altman in a psychedelic forest on the moon and a stadium with rubber duck races. The app promises fast, studio-style edits without cameras or crews. Creators can crank out dozens of short videos in minutes. Critics warn of AI slop, flooding feeds, and fresh copyright fights. OpenAI says it will label AI-generated media and expand tools to verify originals. This is Kara Swift for Neural Newscast.
Now, let's report on the economy. Wall Street and businesses brace for economic fallout from the U.S. government shutdown, from data gaps to market volatility. Ethan Wells reports on this story.
Wall Street braces for an ongoing federal shutdown that could rattle markets and delay deals. An economic data blackout halts key reports, leaving investors without guidance on inflation and jobs. New stock offerings may stall, freezing IPO pipelines. Furloughs may cost roughly $400 million per day, straining consumer spending and federal services. Treasury trading could see wider swings as uncertainty grows. Businesses prepare contingency plans while fund managers raise cash. One analyst warns volatility rises when data goes dark, capturing investor anxiety.
Italy's draft budget aims to hit the EU's 3% deficit limit in 2025, signaling tighter fiscal discipline and market watchfulness. Jason Miller reports on this story.
Italy's draft budget puts the deficit at 3% of economic output in 2025, hitting the European Union's limit a year earlier than expected. The move signals tighter fiscal discipline after years of pandemic support and energy aid. A 3% gap narrows fiscal space for new tax cuts or spending. It also reduces the risk of EU sanctions under the bloc's fiscal rules. Markets watch Italy's borrowing costs closely, given its high debt load, near 140% of GDP. Policymakers now face tough trade-offs. This is Jason Miller for Neural Newscast.
Stories impacting our well-being. Australia widens sunscreen product recalls, raising concerns for families in the country with high skin cancer rates. Now, Laura Navarro joins us.
Australia pulls more sunscreen products off shelves as the safety scandal widens. The recall hits families in the world's highest skin cancer hotspot where daily protection matters. Parents worry about summer plans and trust in labels. Dermatologists urge people to check batch numbers, replace affected bottles, and use hat, shade, and SPF 50. Health officials remind people to reapply every 2 hours and cover kids' skin. One parent says, "We just want to keep our kids safe." Consumers can seek refunds and report reactions to clinics.
Researchers are probing why certain cancers are rising among young adults and urging attention to early detection. Turning to the environment now. E-bikes are being touted as a low-carbon, cost-saving transport option if cities build infrastructure and policy supports. Samuel Green joins us with the latest.
E-bikes offer a faster path to cut carbon, congestion, and costs if cities commit. In 2024, San Francisco closed 2 miles of Great Highway to cars, turning it into a coastal park. Some neighbors recalled their district supervisor, citing traffic on side streets, though commute times rose only minutes. Nationwide, e-bike sales surged past electric cars. The choice now: expand safe lanes, parking, and charging, or double down on car-first streets.
From the entertainment desk, here's what's new. A Saudi-led investor group seeks to take Electronic Arts private in a major gaming industry deal that could reshape ownership. Lydia Holmes is here with more details.
A Saudi-led investor trio seeks to take Electronic Arts private in a proposed $55 billion deal, which would be the biggest leveraged buyout in gaming. The group includes Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund and Jared Kushner's affinity partners. EA publishes Madden and EA Sports FC, formerly FIFA. The bid rivals Microsoft's $68 billion Activision Blizzard deal from 2022. It could reshape who funds and controls sports games billions play, and where that money flows. This is Lydia Holmes for Neural Newscast.
Let's take a look at world news. U.S. investigators will review the 2005 death of author Hunter S. Thompson at the family's request, officials say. I'm joined by Sarah Wheaton.
U.S. investigators plan to review the 2005 death of author Hunter S. Thompson 20 years later. The original ruling is suicide. The family requests the review, and officials say they see no new evidence of foul play. Thompson, 67, pioneered gonzo journalism and wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He died from a self-inflicted gunshot at his home in Woody Creek, Colorado, in 2005. The fresh look aims to confirm the record and address lingering questions from relatives and fans. This is Sarah Wheaton for Neural Newscast.
Here's the latest from our newsroom. Toy maker Jellycat plans a major payout to owners after profits roughly doubled, reflecting strong global demand. Here's more from the business desk.
Jellycat plans to return £110 million to its owners after profits roughly double. The London-based toy maker's viral plush toys helped generate £139 million in profit last year. Sales surge worldwide, from the UK to the US and Asia. The payout underscores strong cash generation and brand momentum. Fans drive demand on social media, and retailers expand shelf space. Jellycat says the move reflects continued confidence in growth. This is Matthew Brooks for Neural Newscast.
Updates from film, music, and more. Game critics praise Hades 2 as a demanding, satisfying sequel that refines combat and progression systems. Lucas Bennett has more on this.
Hades 2 lands as a polished, demanding sequel that rewards every run. Players battle through the underworld and Mount Olympus, gaining new powers and strategies after each defeat. The game balances fast, precise combat with elegant progression systems and character-driven storytelling. New titans and witches expand the lore while keeping the action tight. Fans of the original get deeper challenges and satisfying growth without losing accessibility. This is Lucas Bennett for Neural Newscast.
Up next, more news you need to know. That's our roundup for this hour. For more, visit neuralnewscast.com and follow us for updates.
This has been another Neural Newscast production. Join us again soon, and visit nnewscast.com to explore today's news as well as the past like never before. Neural Newscast integrates real and AI-generated voices to facilitate efficient, high-quality news production. Developed by human experts, our AI-generated content undergoes rigorous fact-checking and human review before publication. While we strive for accuracy and neutrality, AI-generated content may occasionally contain errors. We encourage listeners to verify crucial details from reliable sources. For more on our AI transparency practices, visit newscast.com.